y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife, and today I have a Bible journal process video for you. I am working through the devotional Remarkably Vivid, written by Jeremy Wiggum, and I will be journaling in Matthew 6:22, and we are talking about light and how your eyes are the light of your body. Your whole body will be filled with light through your eyes. And I'm going to be reflecting on a time when I could not see clearly. I have some acrylograph marker pens pulled. I have all of the goodies from the kit pulled, and we're just gonna get going. So I will definitely list everything that I use down below if you're interested in checking those out. Otherwise, let's go. All right, so I knew the main focus that I wanted to do for this page was to draw what I think is called the aperture of a camera, basically the opening of the lens. And I know that that opening kind of changes sizes. It's like how your eye works. When it's really bright outside, then the aperture closes so that only a little bit of light gets in, because if too much light got in, you would be injured. Your eyes would be injured. And a camera can work in the same way, in my understanding, just to adjust for the lighting that is around you. And I thought that that was an interesting comparison to God's light. And the question that I was responding to in the devotional is about a time where we felt like we were in the dark, and what did that feel like? And the time that I was referencing was when my children were newborns. And I remember actually literally stumbling in the dark for those midnight feedings. And then I also just remember feeling like I was in the dark, like I was lost, like I had no idea what I was doing. And it being a little bit of a scary time, a dark time. And yes, there were lots of wonderful newborn moments, but for me as an anxious person, that was a little bit of a scary time. And so I thought about the way that God led me through that time and how he did leave these little slivers of light. So I felt like I was in the darkness, and he would leave you those little slivers when you are a new mom and you are so exhausted. And you just think you can't go on. Those tend to be the times where your baby smiles at you for the first time, or you just look at them and connect on a deeper level. And to me, those are those little tidbits from God, those little slivers of light. I think as a new mom, all you can focus on is, keeping that baby alive. If we were given the whole picture of what it means to be a parent all at the beginning, we would be overwhelmed. It would be way too much to handle. So God gives us these little tidbits so that he can just guide us through this difficult time. And I think that's what the passage is talking about. Like light, the light in your eyes, the light is healing. And there is going to be darkness in our lives at different times, but God's light will always be present. And he's going to give us exactly what we need to make it through the dark times. Okay, as I've been talking, I drew out my camera lens opening, and I'm using my acrylograph pens to color it in. These have acrylic ink in them, so it has really nice coverage. I have sped this up a good amount just because I figured you guys didn't want to watch me color all day long. But I decided to draw it out in pencil first. I'm filling it in with these colors that are very complementary for this particular devotional. These are from the new spring releases from Archer and Olive. And then I'm going to trace the whole thing in black. And I like that contrast of these light colors and then the black. I think it makes it pop. And I also think it's just fitting for the devotional, which is talking about this light in this dark and how to find focus in the dark and when things feel out of focus. So I thought it was a fun play. I'm being very careful to make sure that each piece is dry before before I put something on top of it. So these do dry really fast, these particular markers, but you can see I'm kind of doing every other line, and then I'll go back and very carefully fill in, just making sure I don't smear it, which is kind of my normal MO, because I get too excited and I work too fast and I end up smearing something a little bit. But I like that these dry so quickly. You could easily create this with mild liners because those would be very similar colors. So that's another option. If you don't have these acrylograph markers, you could paint it, you could use watercolor. There's all kinds of options for filling in this aperture. Now that my visual focus for the page is done, I'm going to turn my attention to stickers, and I will add the title on my page, which is going to be Focus on the Light. And I'm using the different alphas in the kit and a few of the other stickers to add that in. And it's just a reminder that when we feel like we're in the dark, when we feel like things are unclear, just to look for those little slivers of light that God gives you. And I just remember feeling those as a new mom, and so that was very relatable to me. So that these pop off a little bit more, I do always like to outline the stickers with these kits from Creative Retreat Kits. I just think they have this beautiful white border around them, and when I'm working on white pages, sometimes that gets lost. So I do like to trace them a lot of the times just to make them pop a little bit more. It is pretty easy to write on top of the acrylograph markers, so that works out really well. And now I have my title, and now I'm just going to play with some more fun stickers. I know that I have a lot of journaling I want to do at the top of the page, so I'm going to kind of fill in the bottom of the page with some more elements. I love the sunglasses, super cute, so I will add those in and again trace it. And then I'll do a little cluster of stickers in the lower left-hand corner of that page. I went back and forth on whether I wanted to stamp out the camera and do a little bit of paper piecing or use the sticker. And I decided I'll end up stamping out for another page, I think. And this time I'll just do some sticker layers with the florals and the camera. So I added those in the corner, and then of course coming back and tracing them with black so that they pop just a bit more off of my page. Once that is done, you know that I cannot resist the wonky hearts. I feel like I can't do a Creative Retreat page without wonky hearts. It just feels off to me. So I'll outline, and then I'm going to add some of the hearts. I decided to go to mix up the colors. I thought at first it might be nice to do a heart on each of the colors I already have that kind of corresponds, but I decided just to mix it up to add a little bit of more dimension. And then I'm going to fill in the whole top part with journaling. And I just want to encourage you, don't be afraid to go for it on the journaling. I feel like sometimes when we are doing Bible journaling, we, just add a couple lines here and there, and that certainly is the case. But I had a lot to say. I wanted to tell the story. I wanted to talk about being lost as my kids were newborns, and how God provided in that time. And so I had a lot to write, and so I went for it. I filled up the space. So don't be afraid to really focus on the actual journaling part and not just the art part. Once the journaling is done, I will add the date and then mark off the verses that I was focused on, and that will be it for this page. Nice and simple, but pretty impactful as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button. Make sure to check out all of the other amazing videos over here on the Creative Retreat channel. My fellow creative team members are pretty remarkable. I hope that you have a fabulous day, and as always, keep it creative.